What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at this Delmonico Red 2023 Ram 1500 Laramie. Big shout out and thank you to Feeney Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for providing this new truck for today's video. Take a look at their website linked below. At the end of today's video we're going to unveil the MSRP and see if I think this truck is worth the money. Underneath the hood of this 2023 Ram 1500, you're going to find the 5.7 liter naturally aspirated Hemi V8 with the eTorque mild hybrid system. It pumps out 396 horsepower with 410 pound-feet of torque, and it's paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission with a 4-wheel drive transfer case. It runs on a 23-gallon fuel tank, and you're looking at 18 miles per gallon in the city with 23 out on the highway. Then the overall curb weight is 5,400 pounds, max towing is 8,100, and then payload is 1,600 pounds. The overall length is 232.9 inches with wheelbase at 144.5, width is 82.1, and height is 77.6 inches. For some off-road capabilities, approach angle is 19 degrees with ground clearance at 8.2 inches, breakover angle is 20 degrees, and departure angle is 25 degrees. And then now moving on to the exterior styling of the 2023 Ram. This is a really bold looking truck. I definitely like all these sweet lines, and this color really pops. We have a set of LED headlights. You can see all the design to them, as well as that DRL on the top and bottom. You get all sorts of body color throughout the front bumper, as well as a metal front bumper. You can see fog lights down below with 2 parking sensors, more sensors throughout the center, and then a nice body color design along this grille. We have Ram written out in chrome with black mesh all throughout it to allow a ton of cooling into that Hemi V8. I love how bold the Ram looks, and I like this trim piece above the headlights and grille that's also finished in the body color as a really cool design leading towards this hood. You can see these heat extraction vents along with a really large raised bulge in the center to really add to that Ram aggressive design. And then up on top you can see the 1500 Hemi eTorque logo, which is a nice touch, and then more vents in the backside. I think Rams really do a good job making their trucks look insanely bold. And then moving to the side profile, you can see these really nice set of 20-inch wheels finished in a 2-toned silver and chrome, and they're a multi-spoke design. You can see a sharp line cutting all the way around the fender, and then Ram written out in the door with some sharp body lines all throughout the lower section. This also gets a set of body colored door handles and body colored mirror caps with an LED turn signal along the side with Ram written through it. And you can see all the black trim throughout the windows as well as that B pillar. And then if we move to the side profile, this is a full crew cab with the shorter bed. So I think the proportions front and back look really nice. Definitely is a good looking truck all around. As you make our way to the rear, you can see that shark fin antenna up on the roof, a power operated glass in this rear panel. And then looking at the bedside, you get that sport logo along with a nice body line in the upper portion, and then the body lines you saw in the side even continue all the way through the bedside. We get a nice set of LED taillights finished with a red housing and then a body color bumper. You can see more parking sensors all integrated, as well as a dual exhaust that's kind of integrated into the bumper itself. We have all your trailer hitch connections as well as the hitch. Then up on the tailgate we have Laramie on one side, a massive Ram logo, as well as a backup camera and the release handle, and then 4x4 on the far right. The overall rear design definitely comes together nicely to match the front. So there's a good look at the exterior with the 2023 Ram. Certainly a good looking truck on the outside. I think you can't really go wrong with a truck that looks like this. Great capabilities as you just saw. We have Ram's key fob, you get the name written out, some cool silver accents, lock, unlock, tailgate, and then we get remote start. So if I lock the truck, double tap on that, the Hemi engine will roar to life. Pretty good rumble back here. Certainly a meaty sounding V8. Pressing it once, we can shut that off, and then keeping the key fob in my pocket. All I have to do is come up to the door and grab the handle, it unlocks, we can check out this interior. This Laramie is going to get a black leather interior. You're going to see a little bit of silver and wood accents all throughout it. If we take a look at the door panel now, you can see the black leather material up on top, as well as a dark wood trim, as well as this Alcantara material. We have your release handle, memory seating, 2 speakers. Then you can see all the window and mirror controls, your grab handle as well, then some padding right here with a vinyl material and stitching. We have quite a lot of storage down below, as well as this one in the center. Then you can see all the power controls on the left side of the seat with a nice silver trim piece. We have the smooth black leather with some nice gray piping, a little bit of Alcantara, and then all this perforated leather right in the center with a nice pattern on it. There's more of the Alcantara all throughout the sides and back. We get Laramie written up top with more stitching and piping along the headrest. And then spinning around, we get a black leather steering wheel with some silver trim. And then now inside the Ram, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, we have a combination of analog gauges as well as the LCD screen. You can see the tach and temp on the left with speedometer and fuel on the right. Then the screen right in the center is configurable using the buttons on the left side. You can see, of course, we have a digital speed readout. Scrolling down into vehicle information, you can scroll left and right to see all sorts of different vitals that are within the truck, just to keep a good monitor of everything going on. You can continue down into your fuel economy information. We also have more info for trip. Then we have start-stop information, trailering and tow settings you can configure and take a look at. Audio, of course, comes up, different messages, and then your screen setup, and then back to that front screen. Along the steering wheel, we have your Ram logo, as well as some Bluetooth controls on the left, cruise control over on the right, as well as the gear limit down below that. On the left stalk, you can see all the windshield wiper controls, and then to the left of all that, we have your headlight controls, interior dimming, and then the button right here is to move the pedals. We have one of the air vents, then a nice gauge cluster hood finished off in a leather material, then all black running across the dash with storage up in the center. You can see on the far right more of that stitching material as well as the name Laramie written out. Pressing that button, the secondary glove box opens up, and then of course underneath that we have the traditional glove box, which is pretty large. And then moving to the center, we have this huge vertical screen. It has a really cool look and design. You can see right now on the home screen we have our navigation setup. We also have a few more down below, and you can configure all of this. We have the media icon down below that. Everything will come up along the screen. We have your comfort button with all the climate controls, and very easily toggle your different temperatures, all of your zones, heated and ventilated seating with heated steering wheel, and then more controls down below for fan speed. We can do the full screen navigation as well when everything comes up. Then you have your phone integration. Then you can also see vehicle, rear view camera. You can take a look at that. And then I can just exit right out. We also have apps down below. And with this coming up, you can see all the different items that will come up. Now we do get some physical controls as well, which is nice to see. Your fan speed, and when you do that, it comes up on the screen. And then on the far right, we have more of the climate controls. We have volume on the left, tuning and scrolling on the right. And then on this far left side, we have your drive select. We have your four-wheel drive settings all right here with the engine start stop. And then below the actual screen, you can see your trailer settings right here where you can adjust, and it even comes up on the screen as you adjust everything. And then we have different toggles down below. You can see your traction control, tow and haul, and then parking sensors. And then we have a lot of storage. We have a nice phone slot here with some USB ports, and then an area down here as well. I can press this button and slide this back, and this will open up, and you can see all sorts of extra storage space all down below that. And then with it back in the front position, you can see couplers, change, as well as more storage. We get the Ram logo as well as more of the stitching, and then grabbing this upper lever, you can see we got quite a lot of storage space in here with a USB port. And then grabbing the lower lever, it opens up to inside of this console. So really cool just how much space you're gonna get. There's even an area here you can adjust and open that up to kind of help give you a divider. And then on the back side, we get a few calculations if you're gonna be using this as your work truck. And then one last look at the interior. Ram certainly does do a good job giving you a premium feeling interior, nice use of materials, and it's laid out pretty well. No sunroof on this spec, however we get all your dome-like controls up top, as well as a sliding rear glass control, and then a nice frameless mirror with garage door openers on the sun visor. And then now moving on to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, door panels finished off just like we saw up front, even with the Alcantara and all the nice leather material. Down here you can see the rear seats are also finished off just like we see up front, the cool material, all the different designs. And then right in the center we can grab this backrest and pull this forward. We get a pretty good armrest as well as two cup holders. Then there's storage on the back side of these seats, along with USB ports in the center here, climate vents, a little bit of storage, and then two cup holders up top. Then you can grab the base of these seats, lift them up and lock them in place, and it reveals a ton of hidden storage. You can see how this is going to go all the way through underneath the other seat to really amplify how much use you can use with this truck. Down here we even get hidden storage space in the floors, and you can see just how deep that is. It's about almost a foot or so. So you can fit some water bottles, maybe use this as a cooler or something. And you even get a tape measure here in centimeters and here in inches. So it definitely makes it a good usable utility truck. From here, we can just pull this down, close it down. Then we have your grab handle to climb inside. So then hopping into the back seat of the Ram 1500. So at 5'11", I'm sitting here pretty comfortably. I have plenty of headroom, and even with the driver's seat set at my height, I have like a foot of knee room, plenty of footroom as well. Armrest is in a great place, and the center one as well. So super comfortable truck to be in. You got a lot of glass back here. Of course, that one will open up. Get your dome lights up on the ceiling, speakers in the ceiling as well, and then a hook on the far side. And then onto the bed space, you can use the button on the tailgate, or of course just double tap the key fob. Automatically opens up. We got a full painted bed in here with a few hooks in all the corners, and you can option this for LED lights as well. Pretty basic back here for this specific Laramie. Then the tailgate itself, pretty simple, no crazy steps or anything like that. However, it doesn't weigh much. Easily with one hand, we can lift it up and close it. All right, so we are setting off now in the Ram. Getting up to some speed, just quarter throttle. I really like the engine. The fact that you have the hybrid technology, that eTorque, it gives you a lot more down-low pep that a big V8 may not just give you. So you don't always have to wring it out and floor it. You can just kind of drive it like normal, and it gets up to speed really well. So getting up to speed limit again. It is a really comfortable truck. That's one thing you're gonna notice. The seats are really comfortable. Suspension is fantastic. Really good visibility. I love all the contours in the hood that you can see. So it really adds to that aggressive Ram. I think Ram has always just been a truck company that makes things that are bold, and that hood from this view really shows that off. You can see the huge windows, and then over your left and right shoulder, like any pickup truck, no real blind spots. It's easy to see out of. The tech, using it while driving, is also really user-friendly. The screen, I like how it's integrated. Not everyone likes the tablet style. However, I think Ram did a good job actually integrating this type of screen to where it's not just stuck on. So it looks good, it works really well, and all the amenities you get, I mean, it really feels like a well put together truck. Brakes bring us down nicely. Steering's pretty light as well. While it's a big truck, it actually doesn't feel crazy hard to maneuver. It seems pretty pinpointy, not a million rotations of the steering wheel just to make a turn. So it feels pretty nice and tight. As far as the wind noise and road noise and stuff like that, it's pretty comfortable. The road we're on is decent. You don't really hear much going on. Not crazy amount of wind or anything, so it's a pretty comfortable truck. People buying this, they're gonna use this as their daily driver, taking the family somewhere, but of course they're still gonna use this as a work truck in the sense of the utility work around your house, or maybe for your business or something, you know, hauling a trailer, hauling a race car in the back or something like that. Hauling things to yard work or something. So it's a really comfortable daily truck with all the luxuries and tech, and then it can still be put to work, you know, do the work site stuff to where you can haul a bunch of stuff and actually drive over, maybe you're a contractor or something where you got to drive through the dirt and hit all sorts of ruts. You know, this is a truck that's gonna be able to do that. And it seems like a pretty composed type of truck to drive. All right, so turning around to my perspective, things I like, things I dislike about this truck. Things I like, I really like the engine. I think the V8 is pretty solid. The fact that we get a V8, I mean, that's great to see in any tough truck like a Ram. And the fact that it's got the hybrid system, it gives you that extra power to fill in all the flat spots that a normal gas engine is going to give you. So I think that's a really good touch for this truck. Along with that, I like how it doesn't drive like a truck in the sense it's not bouncy and too harsh. It still is a really tough truck. You can tell it's meant to be pushed to the limits, be used as a utility vehicle, to work, stuff like that. However, it drives really comfortable. You can tell there's that higher end luxury aspects in a Ram like this to where it feels really comfortable, it feels a little bit upscale. Not to say the competition doesn't have that same aspect, but trucks these days are getting really, really nice. And a lot of owners of these, they seem to use them for everything. They use them for the daily, they use them for the family, and they use them on a job site or for their own housework around their own house or their own business or something like that. I have a lot of friends who own trucks similar to this who are contractors. They drive this to the job site and use it just like a work truck, and then they wash it, and then the next week it's a family daily driver. So these are super, super capable, insanely well-rounded types of vehicle, and with the technology the Ram gives you, it's a really nice place to be. I can't really think of any downfalls except for the tailgate. The only cool tailgate option from a Ram is the one that's like the barn door. It's got a big slit through the center of it. I think it looks really dumb having a crack basically through your tailgate, and I don't see any purpose served. General Motors tailgate, the Multi-Pro one, is amazing. You can load and unload a motorcycle by yourself. You can haul so many things without even tying them down half the time. Insanely useful. Ford's tailgate is decent with the step, however, still nothing close to GM. Ram needs to do something better for their tailgate. I think the barn door one is completely useless. Opening, 1 foot of it, what is that going to do? So the tailgate, I think, is the one thing Ram can improve upon and make something a lot better. Make something like General Motors, and I think this pretty much has it all and would be a top competitor. So that's the only thing that would make me look at a GM over this, is that tailgate. Everything else, though, in this truck, it seems really nice. It's what you would expect for kind of what you would think a truck like this is going to be. And then I also like the powertrain. Like I said, the engine's great. The automatic transmission is also very smooth. It delivers power well. You don't feel the shift. You don't hear any drivetrain components or anything like that. And like I said, everything about this truck having that little bit of luxury touch to it, you can tell with the drivetrain, the suspension, and then the interior. You can tell how well built these are. Chrysler in general, they have their issues with quality. However, when you're in this, it feels like a very high quality vehicle. Everything feels tight. Panel gaps look normal in it. Nothing looks out of place. Nothing's missing. No glue hanging from the headliner I've seen in other brands. So, I don't know. I feel like Ram is definitely one of the top. All three brands are pretty awesome at this point, but I think the Ram definitely has something to offer. If you want just a really solid truck with that extra touch of luxury, I feel like that's where Ram gets you. And this isn't even the most fully loaded one. You could get ones that are probably a little bit more upscale. But even this Laramie, though, solid choice. Just a good, solid truck with all the options you're going to want and that really nice ride. So with all that said, this 2023 Ram Laramie is $69,000. So do I think it is worth the price point? I do. It's a lot of money for a truck, obviously. However, when you look at the competition, that's a pretty typical price for a very nicely equipped full-size pickup truck. Only complaint is the tailgate. I want to see Ram do something better. I don't like the barn door one they offer. This one, of course, just has a basic tailgate. General Motors, we had a few Silverados and Sierras to test out for a couple different weeks. We had one while I was moving, and to load that tailgate up the way it's designed was incredibly useful. I had another one when I had to get my motorcycle from my brother's house. I loaded it and unloaded it by myself. It was so incredibly useful. And when you're buying a pickup truck like this, you're using that bed. So I want to see Ram come out with a tailgate that makes this that much more usable. Aside from that, though, this is a really nice truck. It has pretty much everything to offer, just like the competition. All three of them are really nice. I like the engine. I like having a V8. I like the hybrid system. So I kind of think I like this engine the best out of the three. I'd pick this over an EcoBoost, and it's better than just a basic V8. So I think Ram certainly has a competitive truck for the market. Definitely something to put on your radar. It's a lot of money, but a well worth truck to buy. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, taking a look at the 2023 Ram. Big shout out and thank you once again to Feeney, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this new truck for today's video. Take a look at their website linked below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.